I got referred to a cardiologist. That was scary. I lucked out in the book section. Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I decided to just pick up the camera because I was feeling a bit chatty this morning and I haven't really vlogged in a while. I thought, let's just do a random little week in my life, I guess. Today, I'm just getting ready to go to school. I've been feeling very tired recently and I had a very long day at school yesterday, so it's been a slow morning, but I have this weekend to catch up because it's a bit of a long weekend. It's Easter weekend. We have tomorrow off of school, but Monday I do have to go in. I have a cadaver lab, which this will be the second one that I've been to, and we have to do 3. I had to miss the first one because I feel like I really just have to do like a whole health update. Where do I start? The last time that I did a health update, I was talking about seeing a cardiologist. And I was seeing one because I was starting to experience some heart palpitations and also feeling like I was going to pass out, but I really noticed it with the heart palpitations, which kind of started last semester, but I would say the feeling of passing out also happened last summer, especially when I was at work. And I thought it was just because I hadn't eaten or something like that, but then I got referred to a cardiologist because a couple years ago when I had one of my surgeries for the cancer, I had to get my ovaries relocated. They did an ECG and they found out that I had an extra delta wave, which basically means that I have Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which is congenital. I have apparently had this my entire life, but it's gone undetected because I've been asymptomatic, and they told me if you start developing symptoms, tell your doctor and basically get it checked out. So that's what I did, and I saw the cardiologist. I thought maybe they'll like put me on a medication or something, or maybe I'm just really anxious with school. I'm in a very high stress program, got a lot of things going on. Maybe the heart palpitations are from anxiety, but I just wanted to get things checked out. I am having a electrophysiology study. So they did a echocardiogram. My heart looks beautiful, they said. Nothing structurally abnormal or anything to worry about there. But I also got a Holter monitor for 48 hours, and my heart is constantly in this Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. So what this basically is you normally have 2 nodes in your heart that when an electrical impulse is sent through your heart to make it contract, it goes through these 2 nodes. So kind of like in baseball, goes through these 2 bases. So you have the SA node and then there's the AV node. I have with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome this extra node that's between the SA node and the AV node. So it's going in this like irregular pattern that's causing these heart palpitations. So from what my cardiologist told me, that there are people that do have Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, but it's kind of intermittent. They don't always show this pattern, but apparently my heart is constantly in this Wolff-Parkinson-White pattern. To improve my quality of life and to prevent any higher risk of having a major cardiac event such as atrial fibrillation down the road, they can do what's called an electrophysiology study. They go through the groin, fish up this like wire, send an electrical impulse through the heart, find the node, cauterize that extra node, and then you basically are cured. Now, based on that ECG that I got a couple years ago, my cardiologist said that I'm a little bit more of a complex case, obviously with all of my other medical history, but that aside, my extra node apparently is pretty close to the AV node. So there is a chance that they go in and it's too close to the AV node, they're not going to cauterize anything. But these palpitations and this feeling like I'm going to pass out has actually been getting worse. So this morning I just confirmed my appointment. It's going to be at the very beginning of May. It's been something that's been heavily on my mind this semester. It was the first time that I really didn't know what I wanted to do, if I wanted to go through with it, if I wanted to see what happened. There's a lot of risks with doing it, but then there's some risks of not doing it. So I trust my team. I just really need this to get fixed, and hopefully they're able to do it once they get in there. That's been like the big health thing that's been happening. And I've also just been feeling like really exhausted. And I went to my neurologist because I've had Myasthenia Gravis, which is a autoimmune disease, since I was 14. So it's been 10 years. And I've been on prednisone, which is a steroid, for 9 of those years. There was 1 year where I was off of it completely, but then I had to go back on it. I had a conversation with the neurologist, and he thinks that maybe the prednisone isn't as effective anymore, and it's maybe actually causing my feelings of being tired. And I think that's all based on the whole idea of prednisone interacting with cortisol and your own body's production of producing cortisol. He's been wanting me to taper slowly and see how that works, and I'm only going to be going down 5 milligrams until the end of the semester, until my procedure's done. But I did start going down, tapering my dose, not last weekend, but the weekend before. And I got this like really weird sporadic fever and chills the next night. And I don't know if it was just like a 24-hour kind of flu sort of thing, or if it was a sign of my body coming off the prednisone and not really knowing what to do. I only went down 2.5 milligrams, so I've done that before, no problem. So we're still kind of curious as to why that happened. So I guess when I go down another 2.5 milligrams, we'll see. I think I have to do that this weekend. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. And we discussed some of my other options too with regards to that. But hopefully it's just the prednisone and I don't have to be on it, because prednisone, if you don't know, has a lot of side effects. And one of those major side effects is weight gain, fluid retention, all that fun stuff, mood changes, all of that. So I would really, really, really like to just be off of it. I thought I would just do a little health update while I was doing my skincare, and now I have to go to school. I will talk to you later. It's been a few days. I actually kind of forgot that I was filming this video, because on Thursday, which was the last time that I spoke to you, I drove to school. I usually carpool. The guy that I carpool with, he wasn't going to school. He had to do some shadowing preceptor hours, so I just drove myself. I had an episode that lasted a few hours. I was feeling great, and I got to school. First class was fine. It was a couple hours, and then soon as the second class started, I started to feel like I was gonna fall over and I was gonna pass out. So I tried to get to class to sit down, and the door was locked and the TA wasn't at the class yet. So I was really trying to focus and just keep myself calm, because I feel like if I get stressed, it makes the situation worse. So I got in the class, and then we had to move to another room, and I just really needed to sit down. I ended up messaging my mom and asking if she could come pick me up. So my mom and my uncle came and picked me up. My uncle came so that he could drive my car back home, and here we are. Today is Saturday. Yesterday I took the day to just rest. Yeah, that was scary. Usually these like little episodes that I have, like with the palpitations and the feeling like I'm gonna pass out, only last for like a few minutes, but this was like the longest one that I've ever had. That was scary, to say the least. I also had a really busy day on Wednesday, so I don't know if that contributed to it. I had class at 10:30, and then I also had to shadow in the clinic. I was at school until 8 p.m. That was a really long day, and then I had to go back on Thursday. I don't know if it was a combination of things, but I'm feeling better today. I'm actually going out for dinner with my friends from high school. We were supposed to go out a couple weeks ago, but I was the one I think that canceled because my health has just been like really up and down and it's become pretty unpredictable. I cannot wait till I can get this procedure and hopefully everything gets corrected. We are going out for dinner because one of my friends in my friend group from high school, it was her birthday earlier this month and she turned 25, so I'm gonna be 25 soon, which is kind of scary but also kind of exciting. I thought I would also update what I've been reading. Beautiful bookshelves, but I'm actually reading something on my Kindle right now, and this is exciting because this is my first ARC, which if you don't know what that stands for, it just stands for Advanced Reader's Copy. So basically publishers, or I got this off of NetGalley, which is kind of like, I guess, a coordinator of a bunch of different publishers of coordinating e-ARCs. So advanced reader copies, they give them to readers to basically read in advance and provide ratings and kind of, you know, if the book's good. I am reading my first ARC. This is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And I do have all of her other books, which I haven't got to yet, but I am enjoying. So I'm about like 70% of the way through this one, so I'm thinking that I will get it done either today or tomorrow, hopefully, because this comes out I think April 6th, so I want to have it done before then. I just thought that that was exciting to share, that I got my first ARC. But anyways, I think I'm just going to edit a video. I did some homework earlier today, just like some reviewing. I submitted an assignment, also did some things for one of my jobs. Hello, it is a couple days later. So yesterday was Easter and I went over to my godparents' house and we had a very nice dinner. One of my nanny's friends and my godmother's friends also joined, so it was really nice to go somewhere and just spend some time with people that I really love on a holiday. So this whole weekend I've been feeling off. I've been still getting these episodes of lightheadedness. I finished the arc of that book Just for the Summer and I loved that book. I finished it yesterday, last night, and it just gave me such a warm feeling, even though it was talking about some pretty complex topics. There was some mental health representation in terms of discussions around complex post-traumatic stress disorder and maybe not recognizing that if somebody has that. And it was just really well done and really well written. I definitely recommend that one. And I started some new books. So on my Kindle, this is called Lovers at the Museum, and I'm also reading Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This is my first book by this author. I'm really enjoying it so far. The writing is really beautiful, and I started like the first page and I thought, am I smart enough to read this? Because it's on a different level. I am really enjoying this and I'm really excited to pick it back up. Hello, it's been quite a few days since my last update. Honestly, I can't even remember the last time that I updated this video because my friends and I, we started doing these weekly recap videos. So every Wednesday we've been sending each other what our week has looked like. We've done this now for the past 2 weeks and I can't remember what I told you and what I told them. So I am in the second last week of school. I had 2 practical exams earlier this week. I had botanical medicine, which was on Monday, So we were given a case, we sat down and we had to come up with a botanical blend to help with that particular case, and then we had to present it to a TA. And then Tuesday I had a physical medicine exam, mobilizations, and like massage techniques and all that kind of stuff. 2 out of 4 practicals are out of the way. Next week we have acupuncture and clinical medicine. Very scared for both of those, especially acupuncture, because they give us possible point packs. So when you go into the room, you don't know which points you have to needle until you press a button on a computer and it shows you the point pack that you have, and then you have to do all of those points. So you have to be prepared for any of the packs. So there's 16 packs, so 64 acupuncture points in total, and I'm just really scared for that. So I'm gonna practice some more this weekend and like really settle in on point location. And then clinical medicine will be given a case. We have to do some clinical skills, and based on those clinical skills we also have to tell the examiner what a positive would be from that for the particular case and what that would mean to either rule in or rule out a diagnosis. So lots to do. And then I also have 4 written exams. One's open book, which is next week, and then 3 the week after, and those ones are big exams. So but we're getting near the end, so that's positive. I find it funny that around exam times I usually think, oh, I probably won't get very much reading done, but it seems to be the time where I get a lot of reading done. So I finished Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I think I'm gonna do like a quarterly reading wrap-up of like all the books that I've read up until April. So I'll probably save all of my thoughts until that specific video, but in summary, I really enjoyed the writing style of this. There's some really beautiful quotes and beautiful ways of explaining things that aren't just like cut and dry. It's very like lyrical. Annotate this one quite a bit, so it's a banger. And then I've read 2 books on my Kindle. One was a short story and it was very, very short. It was called Strangers in the Museum, and I don't really think it's worth reading. And then I also read The Never King, which is the first book, and I think there's 4 books in this series. It's a dark romantic retelling of Peter Pan. It's not with Wendy, it's with Winnie, and she's like one of the darling girls. So I think her great-grandmother was Wendy. I didn't really enjoy it. I don't think I'll continue. I might, but I'm not like itching to pick up the next one. And now the books that I'm currently reading, I started Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I've had this. I bought this for my birthday last year, so I'm just getting around to it, and this was really popular. I think why I've held off on reading it is this was so popular, and then when I bought it I saw a bunch of people reviewing it and saying that it was cringy, so it kind of just made me not want to pick it up. But I am really interested in it and I want to see for myself. And then I just started Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I'm interested to see if I like it. It's like a mafia romance. That's all the books, that's all the school. Oh, another bookish kind of update is my library is currently doing they do it every year around this time, a like library book sale, and like their books are usually like $1 or like $2, and yes, I have a lot of books, but it's just fun to go, and then if I see something I can support my library and like their programs and stuff. All of like the proceeds go to their programs that they run. So that is going to be tomorrow, because I was going to go today but it is pouring rain and I also have class later today, so I don't think I'll have enough time to just browse. So that'll be fun tomorrow, but I gotta get back into some studying. It's Friday. The next day I went to the library sale. I went to school first, and then after that I headed over to the library sale and I got some books. I got quite a few books for $10.50, all of these books were, so it's pretty good score. So the first one I got this one actually for my nanny. It was 50 cents because it's one of those small mass market paperback. This is another one by Ellen Hilderbrand. She really likes that author, and I am 99% sure that she hasn't read this one. So this is The Blue Bistro, and it's in such good condition, like it doesn't even look like anybody read it. So I got a couple books that I've never heard of before, but I read the synopsis and they sounded interesting. The first one is The Butterfly Girl, kind of like a mystery, girls that go missing and then they are found floating in this river. Then I also picked up My Name is Memory, and this is actually the same author as The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And I never read those books, but I watched the movies and I loved the movies growing up, and it's kind of like an exploration of soulmates, I guess. So this sounded very interesting. Next one, I've seen this in, I'm pretty sure I've seen this in Indigo. I was reading the synopsis of this and it sounded, again, very interesting. This is The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. And I was looking in the cover. This is $32 full price, and I got this for $2. And the last two I was very, very surprised to find. The first one is One of Us is Lying. This is a young adult mystery. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I think there's also a TV show that's either coming out or it's already come out. And then the last one, also very exciting to find this. This is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So that was all the books, and now I have to get back to studying. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this video. It is, I think, like another week later since I've actually updated. Last week was my second half of my practical exams, so those went okay. I had acupuncture and my clinical medicine practical exam. And then today is my first written exam, and then I have 2 more after this, and then I will finally be done on Friday. This semester has just been so long and I am just so ready for it to be over and for summer to arrive. I'm also in desperate need of a haircut. My hair has gotten so long. Like, it's now down to here, which is absolutely crazy because a couple of years ago I was bald, so the hair growth has been insane. Like, it's already back to what it was before, maybe even like a little bit longer. So I need a haircut. That just hasn't been high on the priority list with school and everything, so that is on the to-dos for after exams. And then literally everything exciting is happening this week, and it's like, please, my exams. And I just feel like I can't really enjoy it fully. Like, for example, the new Taylor Swift album came out on Friday, today's Monday, and I still haven't listened to all 31 of the tracks. I've listened to most of it, and I keep going on TikTok breaks, and every TikTok I'm seeing is all of these theories about what some of these songs mean, and I'm like, I haven't even listened to half the songs. So far I would say my favorites are So Long London, But Daddy I Love Him, also The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, that one, oh my gosh, that one's so good. I Hate It Here, that one's really good. And there's a couple other ones that I just haven't been able to have the full experience of listening yet, so there's so many songs. But I will definitely be listening to this more in depth after exams and being able to really savor it. There's that. And then my most anticipated release is coming out tomorrow, and that's Funny Story by Emily Henry. That is my most anticipated book because I loved Happy Place last year, so I'm so excited. Just everything's happening all in this week, and I'm excited for this week to be over. I have the hardest exam on Friday, so I have one today, I have one Wednesday, and then the big one, like I said, on Friday. So, and the motivation is just dwindling to study. One more thing and then I will stop procrastinating. We got the living room repainted, also The kitchen is repainted the same color, and the hallway. It used to be yellow, so now it's green, and I think it looks a lot nicer, a lot fresher. So that was happening all last week, so glad that that's done, and now that I am doing exams this week. I got it! Yesterday was the release for Funny Story, and whoever makes Emily Henry covers should get a raise because this is beautiful. This blue, and then look, there's lemons on the spine. I'm sure I'll figure out what that means. And then look at like just like the little details at the back. I'm so excited for this. But I'm still reading another book right now, and I have to be finished exams because I want to be fully in this. The book that I'm reading right now, I'm reading The Idea of You, which I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I'm reading this because the movie's coming out on like in the first week of May, so I want to read the book before I obviously watch the movie, but I'm finding this a little hard to read. I also find I'm reading this very slowly, and I think it might be the writing style, and the chapters are very, very long, but I can tell that this is going to be an interesting movie premise, but I'm just itching to get at Funny Story, so hopefully I'll be finished this by the end of the week and I can get on to Funny Story on Saturday. Pink underneath the dust jacket, which is just so cool. Also, I've been seeing a couple people already reviewing this that got an early copy, and somebody is comparing it to one of the songs on Taylor Swift's new album, Prophecy, and they said like this is so like for the girls that can relate to Prophecy, and I definitely feel like I can relate to that song, so I'm so excited for this. So excited for exams to be over. Today is my second last exam. I'm gonna be honest, I'm procrastinating and motivation is at an all-time low. But hopefully this one's not too bad. Historically, this course hasn't been too bad in terms of the exams, like it's been usually pretty fair. The one that I'm most scared for is on Friday, like I've probably mentioned before a couple times. But that one is also the largest and the longest, so I'm not looking forward to that. I've been doing some reflecting this week, and I think it is so important to enjoy the small things. I feel like life is like broken up into these big events, but the in-between those events are all of those little moments, and if you can find joy in the small things, like for example, for me, this just makes me so happy. And I don't know why, but it just does. I think because the last book, like I said, Happy Place, I really related to, and I just love a good book that speaks to the soul, and I'm just so ready for this one to do that. I'm really hoping that it does that. But anyways, and then another small thing was the Taylor Swift album releasing, and talking to some of my friends about it and trying to unravel and like decode some of these songs and what they actually mean and like the deeper meaning of some of it, and it just brings me so much joy to be able to connect with my friends on something that we all enjoy. And then one of my friends is also a really big reader, so I take so much joy from conversations with her about some of our favorite books, some of our most anticipated books, and it's just really nice to have those small things that make you feel alive. I know this is like a really deep conversation, but I've gone through quite a few trials in my life, and I've always gone back to having these small little pockets of joy, and knowing that even in the grand scheme of things, if at that point in my life things are not going the way that I want them to or that I plan them to, that I still have these little things that will bring a smile to my face and remind me that it's temporary and there's still things in my life that bring me joy. If that helps anyone, I hope it does. That's been on my mind, especially this last week. I've just been doing a lot of reflecting, but now I have to get back to studying.
Tears fall at last. I see my past like it's still around. But am I happy now? Am I happy now? Are you happy now?
Today's the day of the last exam. I am not looking forward to writing it because it's going to be very, very long, and there's just so much information that I don't honestly know what to expect. But the good thing is it's my last exam of my second year, but also I don't have to take this course after this semester. This is the last semester that we're taking this course, and that feels really good because it's been the course that has been the bane of my existence, the root of most of my stress throughout this program. It's over. I finished my exam. It's been almost an hour since I've finished. I had to do something for one of my jobs, and now I don't know what to do with myself. That exam was really hard. It was very long. My brain just feels like mush. I'm not gonna think about it too much because I know this one's always really hard, and they end up removing questions just because, you know, maybe something wasn't taught effectively, or there's questions that a lot of people got wrong. So again, like, it wasn't effectively taught, or it was taught in a way that we didn't really understand. But anyways, I think I'm just going to relax for a little bit because I'm meeting my friends at 5. Hello, I'm back. I went for dinner, and I also went to the new thrift store with my friends. I lucked out in the book section. Now, before you say anything, I will be going on a book ban for the summer after I used my birthday coupon. I did find some books. I got 5 books for basically the price of 1 book in Canada, which I think was great. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a book haul. I also have a book that one of my friends was unhauling, so she asked us if any of us wanted any of the books that she was unhauling, and there was one that I wanted, and I'm going to explain it in a second. So this is the one that my friend just was unhauling. Is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now, I've talked about this in this video. I have a copy up there already, but I wanted this because I want to make my own special edition. So there might be a video coming out soon about that. I am really excited to have this copy, and that she just gave it to me for free. And then at the thrift store, I got The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I have one other book by this author, The Paris Apartment. Haven't read that yet, but I've heard some really great things about this author's books. Then I got The Song of Achilles. I actually saw this at a thrift store in the summer, I think, and like last summer, and it was a pretty beat up copy, so I didn't pick it up then, but I'm glad that I found this copy because it's basically like brand new. And the girl that was checking me out at the cash, she said that she really enjoyed this book, so I am curious to see what I will think. Next book is Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. And a while ago I was going to get this one on Book Outlet, but I didn't end up doing that. And then when I saw it at the thrift store, and it was $2.99, which most of these books were actually $4.99, but this one was $2.99, and it's a hardcover, so just amazing. I think actually this might be from Book Outlet because Book Outlet puts those like little dots on their books, but it looks like it's in like pretty like pristine condition. And then the last 2 books are by the same author. Both books I've been looking on Book Outlet but never bought, and then I seen them today and I thought this is a sign I have to read them. So they're both by Riley Sager. The first one is Lock Every Door. This is a hardcover, and there was actually an indigo gift receipt in it, so this looks like very new. And this regular price in Canada, $35, and I got this for $4.99. It's crazy. And then the last one is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, and again, this is hardcover, pretty good condition. Excited to read this. I think I'm going to start reading some more thrillers as some palate cleansers, so that I don't get bored of like all of the romance, and with like fantasy too. Sometimes you need like breaks in between those kinds of books. So I'm so happy to be done with school. It's been a long ride. Now I'm halfway, and I'm just excited to rest, recuperate this summer, heal the burnout, and do it all again next year. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.